The following presentation on Mason Web TV powered by HCC is being brought to you by Hood Canal Communications, committed to providing quality services that exceed customer expectations in voice, video, data, and customer service, keeping our community connected since 1934. Mason County Public Health and Human Services Prevention Education Partners Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition. Mason PUD 3, connecting our community with safe, reliable, economical, and sustainable services 24/7. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge. Mason County Public Utility District Number 1, Washington State's first public utility district, proudly serving the Hood Canal in Mason County since 1935. And Mason Health, united community, empowered people, exceptional health. Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Highclimber Field on the campus of Shelton High School in Shelton, Washington. Today, Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, continues coverage of high school spring sports. With the baseball version of the Mason County Cup featuring the Shelton Highclimbers and the North Mason Bulldogs. My name is Diedrich Allen, and joining me for this broadcast is Jerry Apple.
Hi, Diedrich.
Hi, Jerry.
Yeah.
A lot different than 24 hours ago, Jerry. At least the sun's out for the moment.
Yeah.
Shelton is coming off yesterday's 7-1 non-conference loss to Clahalia, a game that was shortened to 5 innings due to rain. And I got to tell you, that was a lot of rain at times. This will be North Mason's first action of the season against another team. The last time the Highclimbers and Bulldogs played was April 26, 2021, with Shelton shutting out North Mason 5-0. The Climbers have won the last 4 games with the boys from Belfair. The last Bulldog win over the Highclimbers was 4-1 on March 10th, 2012. Wow. Now, I got to throw this in there. They don't play every year.
No.
But just a fact. Coming up, Jerry has the lineups, batting orders, and, of course, we have the first pitch. It's the baseball version of the Mason County Cup, the North Mason Bulldogs at the Shelton Highclimbers on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
What is fiber internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you it's just internet. Internet that can do whatever you need. Crystal clear video chats with the family, smooth streaming of your favorite shows, uploading a ton of vacation photos in an instant. Even all of the above, all at once. Switch to fiber internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months of gig speed service. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
Kids can't tell when food or drinks include cannabis, especially when the package is fun and colorful. Remember to store in a safe place, out of sight and out of reach. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This broadcast on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being made possible by Mason Health, united community, empowered people, exceptional health. And we're back here, Highclimber Field. Hit the wrong button. There we go, Highclimber Field. Jerry's got the batting orders for us in the lineups.
Okay, let's start with the visitors, the North Mason Bulldogs. Leading off will be number 24, the center fielder, Caden Atencio.
Atencio, Jerry. Atencio.
Atencio. Good. Batting second, the pitcher, Boston Stanley. Batting third, number 30, the catcher, Calvin Rice. Batting cleanup, number 7, the right fielder, Danner Jones. Batting fifth, number 23, the shortstop, Reed Schumacher. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 2, Dylan Bordeaux. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 3, Skylar McLean. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 25, Kingston Serbakov. And I was hopefully close there.
Sabraikov, but okay.
Sabraikov. Okay, and batting ninth, number 17, the third baseman, Josiah
Ringstad.
Yep, got it.
You can see it better on that sheet there, Jerry.
Yeah. So that is your starters for the Bulldogs. And now your starters for the Shelton Highclimbers under Trevor Cahoon. Batting first, is a shortstop, number 12, Carl Turnbow. Batting second, the catcher, number 2, Jax Ward. Batting third, number 7, the first baseman, Jacob Jacoby. Batting fourth, and he will be the designated hitter, number 24, Cam Winans. Batting fifth will be Daniel Crossan, and he is playing third base. And batting sixth will be number 4, the left fielder, Boston Madison. Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 20, Michael Carlson. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 30, Zane Scott. And batting ninth for the Highclimbers is number 19, the second baseman, Zane Harding.
And you're forgetting who's in Winans.
And we got a not batting, but the pitcher for today will be Gunnar Jetson.
Yeah. Okay, just keeping you on track. Game number 2. He was keeping me on track yesterday, and I'm keeping him on track today.
Things are going to change, though.
Yeah, well, we have a different position.
Yeah.
A little closer to the PA, further away from the pool, and hopefully we won't have a puddle to stand in today.
And farther, yes, from the mud or water puddle.
Water pool. Okay, lineups are being announced here. We'll have the national anthem shortly. We'll take another timeout. We'll be right back. It's Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. North Mason and Shelton coming up.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back. Wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD3 at 360-426-8255.
Hi folks, Diedrich Allen with Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, your source for live high school sports with play-by-play. Once again, Mason Web TV is broadcasting select games every week this school year. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We bring you all the action, from the kickoff to the final whistle, from the tip-off to the final buzzer, from the first pitch to the last out. Watch how it happens on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. Business owners, you can get in on the action as well. Go online, email, call, or text right now to find out how. With all the question marks and uncertainty that surrounds today's real estate market, it is nice to know that there is a local team that has the experience with all types of markets to ensure you make a sound decision, whether selling or buying. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has been a staple in the Mason County community for over 40 years. Feel free to reach out to Jeff, Andy, Chrissy, or Laura with any real estate questions that you may have. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
Kids learn by watching adults, so consume cannabis out of sight of young people. And be a Mason County kid's greatest influence. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and the Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
If you're enjoying this broadcast, please give us a like on your favorite social media. You can use the handle @MasonWebTV to find us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Subscribe and follow Mason Web TV so you never miss anything.
And we are ready for the first pitch between North Mason and Shelton. And again on the mound is Gunnar Jensen, getting ready to do his warm-ups. And, of course, Jax Ward, the catcher, the quarterback, the guy in charge of the game from behind home plate. So, Jerry, we've watched Shelton play one game. Not a win, but saw a lot of good things from the Climbers yesterday.
Yes, we did. I was very impressed with the center fielder. Had a great arm, made some really nice catches out there.
Right.
I felt, and overall feeling they were pretty good. They got those 2 errors in that one inning, but outside of that, they played really well defensively. The Highclimbers.
Now the Bulldogs, well, they haven't played yet this year. We haven't seen them. Last time we saw them was last season. Kind of came up a little short in the district of the district playoffs last year, but pretty much the core, it looks like, except for the seniors that they had.
Yeah, they've got most of their players back.
Yeah.
I would say they're more of a senior-dominated team, junior-dominated team
let's look at
than
this
the
list.
Highclimbers. The Highclimbers have a lot of young players.
This is true. Let's see here. On my research here, they have 1, 2, 3 seniors.
3 seniors.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 juniors due to the Bulldogs. But we're ready to get this underway.
Okay.
So Caden Atencio will lead things off.
Yep. He's the center fielder, and his number is 24. And like we said, we don't have this is our first game, so
We have no information as of yet. I will point out it's going to be kind of hard to tell the difference between the Highclimbers and the Bulldogs. They're both wearing black. The difference is the Highclimbers have the white pants on, and some of them have some red sleeves.
Whereas North Mason has the blue.
Has the blue sleeves and blue helmets, but it's going to be a little bit interesting when they get to be around on base when they're standing around. You just have to look for the difference there of the white pants. Just to point that out to everybody.
I don't know if you know I'm colorblind.
No, I didn't know that.
A little bit. I can't tell the difference between black and dark blue.
Okay, well that opens my eyes a little bit. So Atencio steps in for the first pitch from Gunnar Jensen. Here it is. A little high, ball 1. A lot of chatter coming from the dugout there for the Bulldogs. Pitch on the way and a ground ball. That's going to go foul at the first baseline for strike 1. So 1-1 is the count. Leadoff batter for the Bulldogs here. I'm calling this the baseball version of the Mason County Cup. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore, Jerry. I wish it was.
Yeah, that would be good, nice.
But we'll do the fast pitch softball version tomorrow, weather permitting.
Yes.
With the girls battling. There's a line drive right into the glove of Harding. He'll throw it over to Jacoby at first, and that'll be out number 1 for the Bulldogs. So 1 away.
And now up is the second batter, number 14, the pitcher, Boston Stanley.
Now Boston's like the
and we saw Boston pitch a little bit last year, fairly effective. He played third base also.
Yeah, he's like the anchor of this team, if I remember memory serves. Where he goes, the rest of the team follows. Our new location for our table is a little bit more high traffic. Your first pitch to Stanley inside, hit that inside corner for strike 1. After yesterday, I decided to move us out of the mud.
Nice.
So far, until we get a heckler behind Jerry. So no balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the way, outside and low for ball 1. 1-1. 1 out. Nobody on. Second batter of the ball game for the Bulldogs. That's why I can't see it. I'm on the wrong thing there. Your next pitch on the way inside.
50 degrees at game time. Not too bad.
Too bad. The wind is doing what it does in the stadium, swirls around. Is actually coming out of the west, but it's just swirling behind us. Next pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And that evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, I had a couple of nice talks last year with Boston Stanley. What a gentleman. I enjoyed talking to him.
Yeah, Jerry gets to hobnob with the players while I'm doing all the technical setup stuff. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Just a bit. I think that one hit a little
inside.
Little inside, yeah. Makes the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on for the Bulldogs. Things are flying around here, Jerry. Oh, there goes the lineup card. Kind of need that, don't we? And next pitch in there, and that's a strike 3 called, out number 2 for North Mason. So 2 away for the Bulldogs.
And now up is your third hitter, the catcher, number 30, Calvin Rice.
Now, Calvin, if I remember right, he's a sophomore. Got some playing time. Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit late in the season last year. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1.
I do remember that, him coming in at the end of the season and playing very well. Good memory.
Well, I just remember he was one of those players we didn't have a number or a name for most of the game. And we finally figured it out. So 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss by Rice for strike 1. 1-1 the count. Here is the 1-1. 2 down for North Mason, top of the first, no score. That's a little bit high.
Gunnar Jensen, the pitcher, I believe, is a freshman.
No, he played last year, Jerry.
Did he play
yeah,
last
I think
year?
He's a sophomore. I don't have that.
You could be correct. Let's see.
I took that information out, I believe. Yeah, I think I took it off.
Yeah.
There's a fly ball. Crossing out to get it. Well, actually, it's going to go to Turnbow, and that 1-2-3 for the Bulldogs here in the first inning. We head to the bottom of the frame. Highclimbers coming up on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back. Wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD3 at 360-426-8255.
What is fiber internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you it's just internet. Internet that can do whatever you need. Crystal clear video chats with the family, smooth streaming of your favorite shows, uploading a ton of vacation photos in an instant. Even all of the above, all at once. Switch to fiber internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months of gig speed service. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
Well, heading to the bottom of the first inning, no score. North Mason and Shelton Highclimbers coming up. I'm just watching Boston Stanley go through his warm-ups, and man, he's got some speed on that ball.
Yeah, he
here.
does. Leading off for the Highclimbers will be number 12, the shortstop, Carl Turnbow. On deck will be number 2, the catcher, Jax Ward, and in the hole, batting third will be number 7, the first baseman, Jacob Jacoby.
I think that in the offseason there, Stanley's picked up some speed on his balls. Jerry, just watch him. I don't remember him throwing this hard and fast last time we saw him last year. I don't remember that, and I could be wrong.
Well, we know he has a good arm, from playing third base to,
Kicks and throws again on this warm-up. Location, he's trying to find his location here today, but it's coming in fast and hard.
Yeah, and this is the first game, of course, for the Bulldogs.
So if you're not familiar with Highclimber Field here, you've got 330 down the third base line, 375 out center field. I believe it's about 220 heading up the first base line. They kind of shortened the field a little bit when they put the bullpen over on that end. It used to be, if you remember, it used to be down the third base line, but when they put in the weight room, they had to move it.
Yeah. And a beautiful artificial infield.
Right. In a grass outfield, which is why we play in pouring down rain.
yeah. Okay, Carl Turnbow is hitting.
Waiting for the first pitch from Stanley. Rice, the catcher, by the way, for the Bulldogs. Here's the first pitch. Shows bunt to Turnbow. Pops it up in the air. That's going to fall foul. Strike 1. Looks like the Highclimbers are going to start with a small ball early.
Yeah.
They tried to end the game yesterday with small ball and came up quite a bit short, but I think the rain had something to do with that.
Oh, yeah. It was hard to pitch, too. It was just really hard.
Here is the 0-1 from Stanley to Turnbow. Pitch on the way. Fastball. Hit that outside corner, strike 1. Or strike 2, excuse me.
And we don't have a scoreboard.
It's not, well, they haven't got that person up there. There's always somebody who comes in a little late. So here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Turnbow goes down swinging. One away for the Highclimbers here in the half of the first.
And now up is your catcher, number 2, Jax Ward. And Jax was 1 for 2 yesterday and had the 1 RBI
Right.
for the Highclimbers.
And what Jerry and I were talking about that because the official stats came out as one for 1, but you can't, and an RBI, but he struck out. So it was very, very confusing for me. And I know he had the sacrifice fly. So here's the first pitch to Ward. Low and outside for ball 1.
Plus our scoreboard book was in good shape at the very top of it.
Yeah,
from the rain.
when I peeled it off the clipboard, Jerry, it was a big wad.
Oh, jeez.
Next pitch on the way. Ball 1. I'm sorry, that's
You know, my
ball
purpose
1
here
strike.
is to make him laugh. He's making me laugh today.
Yeah. That's Scott Chamberlain sneaking up there along the fence there, Jerry. I moved my car this time, so they can't yell at me about that. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch on the way to Ward. Right down the middle of the plate with that one. Strike 2.
Oh, yeah, he is coming in there with some speed.
I don't think we've seen the full speed thing yet.
Especially only being the first inning.
Here's a 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, 1 out, nobody on for the Highclimbers. That's low, ball 2. 2-2 the count to Jax Ward.
Nobody on, 1 out.
Hold on a second. The umpire held up 1 finger for strikes, did he? Did you see that, Jerry?
I did not, no.
I thought he did. I have 2-2. Ward steps back in, 1 away. Pitch on the way. That's a strike 2. So that was strike 2. So
Do you see the second umpire?
I do not. Oh, yeah, he's over at first base, Jerry.
He's on, right on the first base line where he should be, yeah, if there's nobody on. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. I couldn't see him until I looked over there. So it's a full count to Ward. I was wrong on one of my. There's a fly ball that's going to head out, foul up the first base line, Jerry, towards the woodshed. So the count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I see they're having some problems with the scoreboard, Jerry. That's why it's not. It keeps flashing on and flashing off. So
it's a beautiful. It's got a lot of items on it.
yeah, it's a new thing, and they've got some bugs to work out, and that might be why Scott's here. Scoreboard's not working. Pitch on the way, and that's high, and that will send Ward to first base on the 1-out walk.
Okay, now up is your third hitter, the first baseman, number 7, Jacob Jacoby. And Jacob yesterday was 0 for 2.
He'll step in, 1 on, 1 out for the Highclimbers here. Runner at first, that's Ward. Pitch on the way, swinging a fly ball, shallow infield. Shoemaker grabs it and holds Ward at first base, and that's out number 2. 2 down.
And now up is your cleanup hitter for the Highclimbers, a designated hitter, number 24, Cam Winans.
Yeah, he was 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout yesterday.
Thank you. Yeah.
I still don't know why walks are not counted as an at-bat. I haven't figured that. It's just wrong.
Yeah, I would, because they've had to, you got a good eye usually when you get a walk.
So Ward takes his lead at first base. Winans' first pitch to him. It's going to be ball 1. So 2 away, 1 on for the Highclimbers here. Bottom of the first inning, no score. They have 3 outs on the board, but there's only 2. They'll catch up. Now there's 0 outs. Okay. Here's a pitch on the way. Outside again, ball 2. 2-0.
Big swing here.
For Winans. Again, Jax Ward at first base. Take a 3-step lead over there. Boston Stanley just pretty much ignores him. Glances back at him. Here's the pitch to the plate. That'll be 3 balls and no strikes.
I would say he's in the middle 80s in his speed. At least that.
At least that.
At least.
Ward again takes his lead. 2 away for the Highclimbers. Pitch on the way. Winans takes 4 pitches and 4 balls, and that has the Highclimbers with runners at first and second.
And that's the second walk given up by Boston Stanley. And now your 5th hitter, the third baseman, Daniel Crossan. Yesterday, Daniel started off as the pitcher for the Highclimbers.
Right, and he was 0 for 1. What did he do? He pitched 2 and 2/3 innings, 3 runs, 1 earned, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, and he faced 12 batters. Like all that information I throw out there, Jerry. Is that right?
And he faced 12 batters, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, you are accurate.
Am I accurate or just on top of things?
I'll talk that too, yeah. I guess they'd be the same thing.
Here's a pitch on the way. That's a strike. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. To Crossan. Again, you got Ward at second. Winans at first. Next pitch in there. That's going to be low. Ball 2, right? Yeah, 2-1. Just want to make sure that I'm getting this right before I push the button for the
I'll
graphics.
give you a clicker. I'll take your clicker.
I don't have a clicker, Jerry. The clicker is an iPad. So 2 away and 2 on. Pitch on the way. That hit that outside corner for strike 2. So 2-2 the count to Crossan.
2 on now.
Yep, 2 away.
A lot of 2s.
Yeah, bottom of the first inning, no score. Ward and Winans take their leads at their second and first, respectively. Here's the 2-2. High for ball 3. And Crossan gets the count full.
Well, the runners are going to be on their go. They're going to be running as soon as that pitch leaves. The hand.
Stanley looks at second base. The pitch to the plate. Swing and a miss. And that will end the inning. So the Highclimbers get a couple out there. Leave them on the base. We head to the second inning. No score on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Kids can't tell when food or drinks include cannabis, especially when the package is fun and colorful. Remember to store in a safe place, out of sight and out of reach. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This presentation. With all the question marks and uncertainty that surrounds today's real estate market, it is nice to know that there is a local team that has the experience with all types of markets to ensure you make a sound decision, whether selling or buying. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has been a staple in the Mason County community for over 40 years. Feel free to reach out to Jeff, Andy, Chrissy, or Laura with any real estate questions that you may have. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
So we're heading to the second inning of play. No score. Jerry.
A summary of the bottom of the first for the Highclimbers. They had no hits, 2 walks, no runs, and 2 were left on base. Leading off for the Bulldogs will be their cleanup hitter, number 7, the right fielder, Danner Jones.
Don't have much to say about Danner. I just know he's quite an athlete. That's about it. That's all information we have on Danner so far. So
well, he's batting cleanup. That tells you something, too.
Yeah.
He must have a little bit of power.
Yeah. Gunnar Jensen on the mound with the first pitch to Jones, and it's low for ball 1. Here is the next pitch on the way. Strike 1. Nice pitch.
Yes.
1-1 the count. To Danner Jones. No score here. Second inning of play. Yeah, it's going to be a ball, I would say.
Yeah, Gunnar Jensen retired the side, 1, 2, 3, in the first. So.
So 2 balls, 1 strike to Danner Jones. Here's the pitch from Jensen. Little curveball, a little bit low and outside for ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Danner Jones. Leading things off here in the top of the 2nd inning. Here's pitch on the way. Little chopper. Nice
Try.
nice time. Probably out there by the third base umpire. Or umpire, not umpire. Third base coach, I should say.
Yeah, I had a nice talk with the coach for North Mason.
He's a new guy.
Yeah, he is.
First year.
Very gun-ho. Very, just very nice. Seemed very nice person.
Pitch on the way. Full count. Ball it gets away from Ward, but it's 4th ball. And Jones heads to first base for North Mason. So runner at first, nobody out.
And now up is your shortstop, number 23, Reed Schumacher.
And Schumacher playing what, shortstop?
Yes, he is.
I got looking at my scribbles on my boards over there, Jerry. They're scribbles to everybody else.
I told him I would do it.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Pitch on the way. Little bunt right in front of the plate. Gunnar Jensen comes in, throws to first for the out there, but on the play, Danner Jones makes his way to second. So 1 away, and then moves a runner into scoring position.
Nice play there to get the out there. And now up is Dylan Prideaux, the left fielder, number 2.
So runner at second base, 1 out. Pitch on the way, swing, and that's going to be a ground ball. That up the third baseline, foul. Another nice tryout there by the third base coach.
Yeah, the nice thing, though, is Reed Schumacher was able to advance the runner there.
Right. Move him down the bases, that's what you want, right?
Yeah, especially if it's going to be a close game, which I kind of think it's going to be today from what I'm seeing. Usually at the beginning of the season, the pitchers are always ahead of the hitters. And then it changes a little bit as the season goes through from the games that I've seen over the many years.
Jerry, I'll make a suggestion that you move a chair this way instead of let people run into each time.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Be happy to.
Make more of a lane there. There you go. Little easier for people to get by you.
Thank you. We don't want to create a problem.
Well, no traffic jam here. And that ball gets by Ward for a ball, and on the play, Jones makes his way over to third base. And then the ball gets away again, and then Jones will come in and score. Not really sure what happened there. I was looking down on something, Jerry.
Yeah, there was an error there, and I'm not sure.
So that gives the Bulldogs a 1-0 lead here.
I believe it was on the third baseman.
So the count is 1-1. Pitch on the way. That's going to be strike 2.
Thank you for telling me to move my chair. I think we've created a good door now.
Little there. Prideaux still the batter. 1 in, nobody on. Yeah, the scoreboard's wrong here. It's all right. They'll fix it. Here's the pitch on the way. It's going to be low. Evens the count 2-2. 1 out. Nobody on. 1 in for North Mason. They lead 1-0. As Danner Jones came in on a error.
Yes.
Pitch on the way. Swinging a little dribbler up the first base line. Jensen will glove it, underhanded over to first base, and Jacoby will record out number 2. So 2 down.
And now up is number 3, the second baseman, Skylar McLean.
I'm wondering, is he any relation to our assessor here in Mason County, Patty McLean?
Oh.
I'm wondering. She lives in Matlock, so I'm just curious. I'll have to ask her next time I see her.
Okay.
If I remember. First pitch to him is a swing and a miss. So 0-1 to McLean. 2 out, nobody on, 1 in for North Mason. They're leading 1-0. Pitch on the way. That's strike 2 called. So McLean steps back in, waits for the next pitch from Jensen. Here's a pitch on the way and a fly ball. That's going to go out of play over the clubhouse. So the count remains no balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on, 1 in. Top of the second inning, 1-0, North Mason on top. Skylar McLean trying to get on base to add on. Here's a pitch on the way. Strike 3 called, and that will do it for the Bulldogs in their half of the second. They do get one. They lead 1-0. We head to the bottom of the frame. Shelton coming up on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Neighbors help each other. It's how community works, and it's how we do business at Hood Canal Communications. We know you count on us for value-priced internet, TV, and phone service, backed by friendly local support. Your hard-earned dollars stay right here as we invest in our community, our people, and smart technology. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected while being a good neighbor.
Hi folks, Diedrich Allen with Mason Web TV powered by HCC, your source for live high school sports with play-by-play. Once again, Mason Web TV is broadcasting select games every week this school year. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We bring you all the action, from the kickoff to the final whistle, from the tip-off to the final buzzer, from the first pitch to the last out. Watch how it happens on Mason Web TV powered by HCC. Business owners, you can get in on the action as well. Go online, email, call, or text right now to find out how.
Heading to the bottom of the second inning, 1-0. North Mason with an early lead. Highclimbers coming up. Jerry.
Okay, and batting now is number 4, Boston Madison, the left fielder for the Highclimbers, to start off the bottom of the second here. Interesting fact, there's no hits yet in this game. 3 walks.
Interesting. Good point, Jerry. I didn't even think about that. Just to let you know that Daryl White was trying to call me on a video chat here just a moment ago. I don't know why. The first pitch in there is going to be high for ball 1. Here's the next pitch on the way. Line drive's going to drop into center field, shallow center field, and Madison turns the corner at first with the leadoff single.
I think he heard me.
He did?
First hit, yeah. Good hit by Boston Madison. And now up is number 20, Michael Carlson, the center fielder.
He was 0 for 1 yesterday. Had a walk, struck out once, scored a run, though. Scored the game's only run for the Highclimbers yesterday. So 1 on, nobody out for the Highclimbers. Here's the first pitch. There's a fly ball. Center field coming in. Grabbing it is going to be Atencio, and that'll be out number 1. And runner holds at first base.
And now up is number 30, the right fielder, Zane Scott.
Now, he did not.
He didn't play yesterday.
He didn't play yesterday, yeah. So the only information we have on Zane Scott is he's a senior.
Oh, okay.
According to my information, if that's accurate.
Well, that's good information.
So 1 out, 1 on. Little bunt right up the front. Stanley gloves it, throws it over to Jacoby. I'm sorry, that's not Jacoby. That's Sabrekov for the out there on the play, however. Madison makes his way to second. So 2 away for the Highclimbers and a runner in scoring position.
But he did sacrifice him over. That's good. And now up is your 9th hitter of the game, and that will be Zane Harding. And Zane is the second baseman.
He struck out in his only at-bat yesterday, and he does take strike 1. So 2 away, 1 on, runner at second base. And that's Boston Madison. Swing and a miss by Harding, a little bit high on that. That's strike 2. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, they're swinging late on a lot of these pitchers.
Pitching
I
hard
wonder
and
why.
fast. Stanley looks back at second base. Gonna go with the pitch. At strike 3, and that'll end the inning. The Highclimbers leave one out there at second. And they trail North Mason 1-0, heading to the top of the third. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
Kids learn by watching adults, so consume cannabis out of sight of young people. And be a Mason County kid's greatest influence. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and the Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This broadcast on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being made possible by Mason Health, United Community, Empowered People, Exceptional Health.
One nothing, North Mason with a lead heading into the third inning. They're at bat.
And leading off will be number 25, the first baseman, Kingston Serbakov. And Kingston, we enjoyed watching last year. He pitched a little bit, played mostly first base.
So I have actually it's Dylan Perdue out there, isn't it? No, you're right, Jerry. I'm seeing the 2, not the full number. Okay, you're right. Jerry's on top of it. I'm off.
Or
So-
even now.
Yeah, okay. So he swings at the first pitch, swings at the second pitch, and quickly behind in the count, 0-2, is Kingston Sabrakov. Watched him play a little basketball this year, didn't we, Jerry?
He did.
Yeah.
He was one of the first to come off the bench.
Little swinging a ground ball up to third base, gloved there, and a throw just a bit high and off the bag. The throw was a bit high there, Jerry,
Yeah,
by
the error.
Crossan, and Jacoby couldn't bring it down in time, so one on.
Yeah, an error there on the third baseman on the throw. And now up is Josiah Ringstead. He's playing third base.
Yeah, he did not play yesterday, did he? Well, we would know.
I don't think he did, no.
Nobody played yesterday. I'm a little confused, Jerry. It's all right. Here's first pitch, and it is offline. And here's Daryl again. Well, it's my wife. All right, that pitch was a ball. Oh, I'm way behind, Jerry. 1 ball, no strikes. Shows bunt, and he'll bunt it right up there. Picked up by Gunnar Jensen. Little delayed throw, gets to first base. Got him over there. However, on the play, runner heads to second base. That's Sabrakov. So 1 out and a runner in the scoring position.
And now up is your leadoff hitter, the center fielder, Caden Atencio. He is number 24. He grounded out to the second baseman in the first inning.
First pitch to him, outside. Ball 1. 1 out, 1 on. 1-0 ball game. North Mason at bat. They have a 1-run lead, looking to add on here in the top of the third. Pitch on the way. That'll hit it Tencio in the foot. So he'll head to first base, and they'll have to send Sabrakov back to second. So 2 on now.
And now up is your pitcher, number 14, Boston Stanley. Boston struck out in the first inning, 0 for 1.
So runners at first and second for North Mason. Pitch on the way now. Line drive up the third baseline. That's fair. Gets into left field. Rounding third. Heading for home is Sabrakov. And there's a double, an RBI double for Boston Stanley. And that adds one more on for the Bulldogs. They lead 2-0. Runners at second and the third now for the guys from Belfair.
And now up is number 30, your catcher, Calvin Rice. He is 0 for 1. Flew out to the shortstop back in the first inning.
Stanley on second base. Pitch on the way outside. Just hit that outside corner for strike one. Next pitch on the way. Fly ball. It's headed out of, hooking out of play over the clubhouse. 0-2 is the count now. Jerry, I hate to say it, the wind's coming in, so it's going to rain. Just going to say.
I wish I could negate your comment.
Usually that's what happens. We know enough about this weather here that we're going to feel the rain coming. Hopefully it won't be like yesterday. So 1 in, 1 out, 2 on. Pitch on the way. Swinging a line drive. That's going to go straight up the middle. Glove there. Nice play by Turnbow. Throw to first offline. Runner comes in to score. Here comes Stanley, and he'll add another one. And heading over to first, from first to second is Rice. So add 2 more to that total for North Mason, and they're up 4-0. 1 out and 1 on now.
And that was an error. And now up is number 7, your right fielder, Danner Jones. In the second inning, he got on by way of a walk, and he scored the first run for the Bulldogs.
The boys from Belfair. Waiting for the first pitch. Here it comes. High and leaning in there and taking that pitch is going to be Jones. He'll head to first base. Wow. What am I doing here?
And now up is your shortstop, number 23, Reed Schumacher. And Reed grounded out to the pitcher in the second inning, 0 for 1. That's the second hit batter in this inning.
Well, I kind of think that Jones leaned into that one just to get some contact on the elbow.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Looks like there might be some activity in the bullpen there for the Highclimbers. So 3 in, 2 on, line drive. Turnbow gloves it, backhands it, throws to third, off the line. He dropped it, and the bases are now loaded for North Mason.
I'm going to give that a single. That was a nice play by the shortstop. I mean, he went far to his right on that play. It was a difficult play.
And the Crossan just couldn't quite keep it in the glove.
Yeah, now up is number 2, the left fielder, Dylan Prideaux. He is 0 for 1.
And he takes strike 1 on the first pitch. Well, that wind has a bite. And I know there was some snow in the forecast mixed in with the rain for late tonight, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I've heard that today, yeah.
Although it does feel like it with that wind. Might have to put my other layer on.
Well, we started off at 50 degrees.
Here's pitch on the way. That's going to be a bounce to Ward, and that's going to be 1-1 on the count.
But yeah, I think it's down to 35, 36.
Long ways to go, Jerry.
Yeah.
Let's not panic, folks.
No, I'm not going to panic.
So one out, 3 on for the Bulldogs here. They have 3 runs in this inning. They lead 4-0. Pitch on the way. Bunt shown. That's going to be a foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes for Prideaux. Can you get Rice at third, Jones at second, and Shoemaker over at first base? Is that right, Jerry? Is that what you have?
I have Schumacher, on second.
On second?
Or third. Is he third?
No, he's okay. Well, it's going to be ball two.
Number 2, Prideaux is
at bat. Yeah, I know that, Jerry. Never mind.
Yeah, and
23.
It's number.
Shoemaker's at first, Jerry.
Okay.
Here's the kick and the throw. It's going to hit him again, and that'll bring in another run, and the sacks remain loaded. Makes it to 5-0 North Mason. And who's coming up here, Jerry?
And now up.
McLean. Should be right.
Is
number
Skylar McLean,
yeah.
the second baseman, number 3, and he struck out back in the second inning.
So Coach Cahoon is out there to talk to Gunnar Jensen and Jax Ward. I don't know if he had enough time to get a pitcher warmed up out there in the bullpen. Seems like he just sent somebody out there, and he's just going through his warm-ups. So now they're going to keep Gunnar in there for the moment. Bases are loaded. 4 runs are in. 1 out. And McLean is coming up to bat. For North Mason, they're leading 4-0. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Here's the first pitch. And that one's going to be a strike. Couldn't quite get a contact with that bunt attempt, Jerry.
Yeah, there's only 1 out.
Yeah. I heard it did make a little ting, but he just couldn't make enough contact. So it's 0-1. To Skylar McLean. Again, the bases are loaded for North Mason.
And 4 runs already in this inning.
Here's pitch on the way. That one's going to be chopped foul to third
nice
baseline.
catch by the coach.
Nice play out there. Barehanded, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 3 on, 4 in for North Mason here. They're leading 5-0.
And 3 hits so far in this inning for the North Mason Bulldogs. This is the 9th hitter for the Bulldogs in this inning.
And that was a called strike 3, so that's out number 2 for the Bulldogs. Still the bases are loaded. And that brings up
Kingston Serebikov, the first baseman, number 25. And he is 0 for 2.
Did he start this inning?
He did.
Yeah,
He started off the inning.
Just want to keep everybody straight. So bases are loaded, 2 out. Pitch on the way. That one's going to get away from Ward. And that'll bring in 1 run. Throw to Gunnar Jensen. There comes another one in to say, did he get him? He did. 2 more runs added on. Nice running job and a slide there by Reed Shoemaker to make it 7-0. Still 2 out, and we have 1 on now.
And Skylar's still up at bat.
That runner is at second base. Sorry if I get that right. There we go. Pitch on the way, and that one's going to be a swing and a foul off to Serebikov. So that's 1-1.
And that was a second error for the Highclimbers.
2 down, 6 in. 1 on for North Mason here. They're leading 7-0. Top of the 3rd. Pitch, throw over to second base, and they got him trying to get back. And that'll end the inning, but the damage was done, and it was a lot. Bulldogs up 7-0. We head to the bottom of the frame. Shelton coming up. Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
There's so many great things about life in Mason County. and Hood Canal Communications is proud to be one more. Headquartered in Union, we offer the speed and reliability your family needs, backed by hometown service and support. Whether you need to just check email or power all those Wi-Fi devices around your home, HCC has the right package for you. Stop by one of our friendly offices, call or visit hcc.net to learn more. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD 3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back, wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD 3 at 360-426-8255.
Heading to the bottom of the third inning, 7-0 North Mason with the lead. The Highclimbers trying to come back here. They're coming up.
A summary of the top half of the third inning. For the Bulldogs, they had 3 hits, no walks. They got 6 runs. They left 1 on, and there was 2 hit batsmen.
Boston Stanley still in there on the mound
for
the
3
Bulldogs.
Strikeouts so far. 3 strikeouts.
So top of the order to lead things off for Shelton. Is that right, Jerry? Carl Turnbow?
And yes, this would be, no, it's...
Turnbow. It's Turnbow.
Yep, okay. You're right, you're right.
First pitch in there for strike on Turnbow.
I just had the wrong number for him. I apologize.
So 1-1. Now, without being so close to the pool, it's very quiet in our broadcast booth. It seems like there's another pitch in there for a strike, too. So 0-2 to Turnbow to lead things off.
They did turn off that noise at the swimming pool.
No, it's still going, Jerry. You just can't
Is
hear
it?
Yeah, you just can't hear it. We're that far away.
Really?
Just can't hear it.
I thought they turned it off.
Nope. There's strike 3, so Turnbow is out. One away for the Highclimbers.
And now up is number 2, Jax Ward, the catcher, and he got on in the first inning with a walk.
It's interesting, Jerry, how about, 20 feet will do?
Yeah.
And,
well, I'm hard of hearing anyway.
well, we know that, but I'm just saying. Here's the first pitch to Ward, and strike 1.
And my
check
wife
swing.
says it's selective hearing.
Well, there's always that. So 1 out, nobody on. Jax Ward, the batter. He has no balls in, 1 strike. Waiting for the next pitch. There's a fly ball, center field. I think it's going to drop in for a base hit. It does. And Ward surrounds first and slides into second, and the throw is off from center field. Backing him up, however, is going to be Stanley. So that's a leadoff or a 1-out double.
That is the second hit for the Highclimbers here in the ballgame. Nice hit by Jax Ward. He is dependable. And now up is number 7, Jacob Jacoby, the first baseman, and he flew out to the shortstop back in the second inning. So got a runner in scoring position for the Highclimbers.
So 1 out. Jax Ward is second base for the Highclimbers. And Jacoby waiting for the first pitch from Stanley. Fastball, just a bit high, ball 1. But that ball had a lot of speed on it. It snapped into that glove.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-0 from Stanley. There's a ground ball. It's going to go foul at the first base line. So 1-1 to count to Jacoby. So the 1-1, 1 out, 1 on. 7-0 ball game. Pitch on the way. That's going to get away from the catcher. So Ward's going to walk it over to third base now.
This will give a good opportunity for Jacob to get an RBI here or score a runner.
2 balls, 1 strike. Again, 1 out. Jax Ward's over at third base now for the Highclimbers. Stanley taking a little time to get back to his, well, the top of the mound. Ward takes the lead over there at third base. Here's the pitch to Jacoby. Swing and a line drive right into the glove of Shoemaker. Throw to third and Ringstad as Ward couldn't get back to tag up, and that will end the inning. And we head to the 4th. North Mason up, still 7-0 on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
What is gig speed internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you that it's marathoning movies on your favorite streaming service with no interruptions, or having the grandkids over and not hearing a single complaint about your Wi-Fi. In other words, it's just what you needed. Switch to gig speed internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
Hi folks, Diedrich Allen with Mason Web TV powered by HCC, your source for live high school sports with play-by-play. Once again, Mason Web TV is broadcasting select games every week this school year. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We bring you all the action from the kickoff to the final whistle, from the tip-off to the final buzzer, from the first pitch to the last out. Watch how it happens on Mason Web TV powered by HCC. Business owners, you can get in on the action as well. Go online, email, call, or text right now to find out how.
New pitcher out there for the Highclimbers. It's going to be Cam Winans. He'll be on the mound. And let's see here. What else is there? Is there any change here? I don't see any other change. Jerry, double check my other sheet. But you can go ahead and get the summary for the Bulldogs on the last inning.
The summary was 1 hit for the Highclimbers. A nice hit by Jax Ward, a double. No walks, no runs, and nobody left on after that double play. Serabakov will be leading off. He was up at bat when they recorded that third out in the top of the third.
So he didn't complete the at-bat, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you. But he'll be leading off for the Bulldogs.
Gee, I can hear Jerry better now. I never had that problem before. Move the microphone back to in front of his mouth. So Winans on the mound for the Climbers here. Pitch on the way, and that's a little one-hopper outside for ball 1.
And like I mentioned, Kingston is 0 for 2.
Here's the next pitch on the way. Fly ball, high, going out there, heading to the fence, and up against the fence. It there in left field, and there's a double to lead things off for the Bulldogs. Jerry says he was 0 for what?
He's now 1 for 3.
Now he gets a double.
And now up is Josiah Ringstad, and he is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the pitcher back in the third inning. By the way, the Bulldogs in the third inning did bat around.
Right. Then that's it's like Sabrikov there. Batted 3 times the last 2 innings. He started it, tried to end it, and then he led this one off. Interesting. He's sitting on second base. First pitch on the way. It's going to be outside in ball 1. Ringstad steps back in. Nobody out here for North Mason. There's another pass ball, and Stanley's going to, or Sabrikov, excuse me, is going to walk over to third base. Not really walk, I should say trot over to third base. So 2 balls, no strikes.
I don't know if Cam got a chance to really warm up, did he?
Well, not in the bullpen. Wasn't a whole lot of time. He took his standard warm-ups. And
like 7 pitches?
Yeah, in between, but it may not have been enough for him. as he's struggling right now.
Yeah.
No out. No outs for North Mason and a runner on third base.
And number 17 stepping back in for the Bulldogs, Josiah Ringstad.
2 balls, no strikes. And again, no outs. 1 on. Top of the fourth, 7-0. North Mason with the lead. Toronto looking to add on here. Here's a pitch on the way. That's a nice pitch for a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike now for Ringstad. Well, I'm glad I'm wrong. The rain hasn't started yet, Jerry.
I got my fingers crossed.
Here's next pitch on the way. Just a bit inside. Makes it 3 balls and 1 strike to Ringstad.
So much nicer to keep score today.
Yeah. Well, it helps to, spend a little bit of money and get a working tent.
Thank you.
Picked on the way. There's a fly ball that's headed to right field. Taking a couple steps, reaching up and grabbing it is Scott. Tagging up and coming in to score will be Sabrekov.
So, good, Josiah Ringstad, a RBI on that sacrifice fly out to right field. And now up is your leadoff hitter, the center fielder, number 24. He is 0 for 1. Was hit by a pitch, and this is Caden Atencio. Did I say that right? Center fielder?
Atencio, yes.
Yeah, good. About time.
Okay. It's okay, Jerry. First pitch, was that a strike or a ball, Jerry? I think it was a ball. Pitch on the way and a fly ball. Out there to left field. Coming in to get it is Madison, and that's out number 2 for North Mason.
And now up will be Boston Stanley. And Boston Stanley is 1 for 2. Has an RBI, got a double in the 3rd inning. And is doing a pretty nice job out there of pitching so far. He's got a 2-hitter.
Ooh, that was a nice pitch, kind of sunk in there at the last second for the strike. Looked high from this point, and then it just sunk right into the zone. Here's the 0-1, and another strike called there. 0-2 to Stanley. So 2 out, 1 in, nobody on for the Bulldogs here in the top of the 4th inning. They're up 8-0. Here's pitch outside that one. Nice stop there by Jax Ward, Jerry. He's working his hardest out there, is Ward. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Stanley. Jerry was right. I think the rain might have missed us this time. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases are empty. 1 run in, 2 out for North Mason. Here's a pitch on the way. Swing and a miss by Stanley, and that'll end the inning. But the Bulldogs add 1 on. They lead 8-0. Heading to the bottom of the frame. We'll be right back.
Kids can't tell when food or drinks include cannabis, especially when the package is fun and colorful. Remember to store in a safe place, out of sight and out of reach. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This broadcast on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being made possible by Mason Health, United Community, Empowered People, Exceptional Health.
What is fiber internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you it's just internet. Internet that can do whatever you need. Crystal clear video chats with the family, smooth streaming of your favorite shows, uploading a ton of vacation photos in an instant. Even all of the above, all at once. Switch to fiber internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months of gig speed service. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
Bottom of the 4th inning we go. 8-0. North Mason with the lead. Shelton coming up.
Yeah, and the designated hitter, Batting cleanup today is Cam Winans. He is walked in the first inning, and so designated hitter Cam Winans up to bat.
Boston Stanley still on the mound for the Bulldogs. Don't see any real change here defensively there. For North Mason, they're up 8-0. Highclimbers looking to get busy here. Get some base runners, right, Jerry?
They do. They need to get those bases loaded. Have somebody drive them all in, I guess.
And Winans will lead things off. Actually, Winans is a pitcher now, Jerry. Right? He's pitching.
Okay.
just to make the correction there. He's a pitcher, not the designated hitter anymore.
Okay.
First pitch to him. He's going to foul that one off behind the screen. I like it when little kids are around on these games, Jerry. They kind of compete for who gets the foul balls. Pitch on the way. There's a strike. Called strike 2. So 0-2 to Winans. Stanley shakes off the first sign. Gets that sign that he likes. From Rice. Here's pitch. And that's going to be a little bit high. Ball 1. 1-2 the count to Winans. Still a little bit of wind out there. Not too much, though. Just making that flag flitter a little bit out there in center field. Here's pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And Winans goes down swinging. So one away for Shelton.
And now up.
Now batting, number 34, Daniel Crossan.
Yes.
Daniel
and
Crossan,
he's the third baseman. And he is 0 for 1. Struck out back in the first inning.
Here's first pitch to him. Right down the middle of the plate for strike 1 called. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th, 8-0 North Mason. Shelton at bat. Daniel Crossan the batter for the Climbers. Pitch on the way. Ooh. That was a
especially coming from a
hit batter there, not intentional by any means.
Oh, no.
So that'll put a base runner at first.
And now up is number 4, and that is Boston Madison, and he struck out back in the first inning.
So the question now would be, how long do you stay with Stanley here when you're up by this much? Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw to second. Sliding in safely, but the ball got into shallow center field. But making his way over to second base is Crossan. And that was a strike to Madison. So no balls, 1 strike. 1 out and 1 on as Crossan takes his lead at second base. Here's a pitch on the way. Inside for ball 1.
I think this is the second person that has been in scoring position for the Highclimbers. Thank you.
Waiting for the 1-1. Stanley looking back at Crossan at second base. He's going to go to the plate. Fly ball, left field. On the run out there is Prideaux. Can't get to it. And rounding third and heading home is Crossan. Heading to second is Madison. And
So
there's
a double.
an RBI double. Puts the Climbers on the board.
So give an RBI to Madison.
Madison, yeah. So it makes it 8-1.
And now up is number 20, the center fielder, Michael Carson. And he's 0 for 1. He flew out to the center fielder back in the second inning.
So 1 in, 1 on, 1 out for the Highclimbers here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Score is now North Mason 8, Shelton 1.
And that was the third hit for the Highclimbers in this ball game.
Stanley into the stretch. Here's the pitch, fastball, strike called. Next pitch, another strike called, so 0-2 the count to Carlson. Runner at second base. That's Madison. 1 in for the Climbers. Stanley takes his time, pitch on the way, swing and a miss. And Carlson goes down swinging. It's a 2 away for the Highclimbers.
And now up is number 30, the right fielder, Zane Scott. He grounded out to the pitcher back in the second inning.
Again, Madison over at second base, 2 out now. There's a line drive, gonna get into center field. Rounding third is Madison, heading home. Rounding first and holding up is going to be Scott, and another run comes in for the Highclimbers. Makes it 8-2.
Yeah, Boston Madison scored. And a nice hit by Zane Scott, giving him an RBI. That's the 4th hit for the Highclimbers and 2nd run of the ball game.
It's a 2 out, 1 on now. Scott over at first base, and Harding is the batter. First pitch to him from Stanley. Little ground ball. It's going to get through the hole. Nice glove there by Shoemaker. Doesn't have a throw, however, and the Highclimbers have runners at first and second.
And that was now Zane Harding is 1 for 2 on that single.
So here's Carl Turnbow.
And Carl Turnbow is 0 for 2 in the ball game.
So 2 out, 2 in, 2 on for the Highclimbers here in their half of the 4th inning, making it 8-2. Here's first pitch. Turnbow waits for Stanley. Here it comes. Whew. Fastball.
Just missed.
Is it? No, I thought it was a strike. It was a strike, Jerry.
Did he get him?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
good.
did.
Initially I thought.
Plate umpire is not very dramatic in his strike calls.
Okay, good. That's a good excuse.
Not really dramatic. That ball gets away from the catcher, and the runners will advance to second and third, respectively.
So now we have 2 people in scoring position.
Scott is at third. Harding is at second. And Turnbow has a 1-1 count. 2 in, 2 out for Shelton. Trying to cut into this Bulldog lead. Just right now is at 8-2. Pitch on the way. Fly ball. Center field, it's going to drop in for a base hit. 1 run comes in. Here comes another as Harding will score. And Turnbow holds up at second base with a 2-run double.
2 RBIs for Carl Turnbow.
Doubles are coming out here. And 4 runs now scored for the Highclimbers. And Jax Ward will be the batter. And I think we might have a pitching change here, as I did see well, yeah, some activity, not really in the bullpen, but over there in the off the third base line on this side, Jerry. They're warming up a pitcher right now. Get a pitching change for the Bulldogs, but no, they're going to leave Stanley in for a couple more batters until they get that pitcher warmed up.
There is 2 outs. I think he'd like to see him finish the inning. And, of course, like you said, with the
you're going to give him time to warm up.
Yeah.
Be completely loose.
And now up is number 2, your catcher, Jax Ward. Jax is 1 for 1. He has a walk and a double. So a good ball game so far for Jax.
Runner at second base. That's Turnbow. First pitch to Ward is low for a strike because he swung. So 0-1.
So the Highclimbers have made this now an interesting game.
Yeah, and they cut the lead in half here.
Yeah.
In this one inning. Stanley taking his time. Pitch on the way outside. Ball 1. Turnbow trots back to second base. So again, 2 outs, 1 on, 4 in for the Highclimbers here in the 4th inning. Ward steps back in with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ground ball. Be gloved there by Shoemaker. Throw to first way off.
Right.
Turn into the corner at third. Slides in and they swipe. He missed it. He dropped the ball and Turnbow scores on the play now. Jax Ward heads to second. So 5 runs are now in for the Highclimbers here in the 4th. Making it 8-5.
So Carl Turnbow, yeah, like you said, just came in.
Jax Ward is over at second base now.
And now the 9th hitter in this inning for the Highclimbers is Jacob Jacoby, and he's 0 for 2. Both times he's flown out to the shortstop.
2 out, though, for the Highclimbers. First pitch to Jacoby. Swing, and he popped that one out of play behind us. Look out. Yeah, it finally came down, Jerry. Wow. That was a high foul. So it makes it 0-1. They put the run up on the wrong scoreboard, Jerry.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it should be 8-5.
Oh, okay. It's a new, like I said, new scoreboard. Here's a pitch on the way. Swing and a fly ball, center field. Going back, getting over the head of the center fielder, Atencio. Rounding third and heading home is Ward. Heading to second with a stand-up RBI double is going to be Jacob Jacoby.
So Ward comes on in, and Jacob Jacoby on a nice double. Give him an RBI.
That'll bring up the pitcher, Cam Winans.
Yeah.
He started this inning off.
He sure did. So this is your leadoff hitter this inning.
Oh, they did it again. They put the score on the wrong line there.
And Cam is 0 for 1. He did strike out at the beginning of this inning, has a walk in the first. So he's 0 for 1.
So it's 8-6 right now. The scoreboard is still trying to get caught up with everything. There, we got it right. Here's the first pitch to a Winans, swing and a miss for strike 1. Crowd getting a little restless over there. That scoreboard was not
turning out to be a close.
Well, Jerry called it. He said it was going to be a close game.
I said, yeah.
It was looking like the Bulldogs were going to run away, but this has been a 6-run inning for the Highclimbers. Winans takes a pitch outside for ball 1. 1-1 is the count. 2 out, 1 on, 6 in for Shelton here in the inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 8-6 is our score. Here's the next pitch. Bit low for ball 2. You thought that they were going to take out Stanley moments ago. And he's still struggling right now, but and there's no more action out there. And
this is his first game pitching this year. You know, he's pitched a long time.
Next pitch inside for ball 3.
Be interesting to see what the ball count is on him.
Yeah, I can see if I can find that, but I'll have to look. 59 pitches.
51. Thank you.
59.
59.
Yeah. Here's next pitch on the way, and that will be. It should be a walk. That's 4. Yeah. There you go. So Winans heads to first base. So the Highclimbers have runners at first and second now.
And Daniel was hit by the pitcher in this inning.
So now I think we're going to get our pitching change. And coming in will be Paul Calafiore. Calafiore. He'll be taking over for Boston Stanley on the mound. So when we have that pitching change here, we will step aside, let him complete his warm-ups, and we'll be back as it's 8-6. Highclimbers 2 outs. Coming back. Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
With all the question marks and uncertainty that surrounds today's real estate market, it is nice to know that there is a local team that has the experience with all types of markets to ensure you make a sound decision, whether selling or buying. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has been a staple in the Mason County community for over 40 years. Feel free to reach out to Jeff, Andy, Chrissy, or Laura with any real estate questions that you may have. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD 3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back. Wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD 3 at 360-426-8255.
And a new pitcher takes over for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Highclimbers have mounted a little bit of a comeback here. They've come back from 8 runs and then down, and now they trail by only 2. 2 outs. 6 runs have come in here in the half inning, and the rain is starting to fall now, Jerry. You can hear it. Coming down. Everybody's going to get in behind us and make us warm, right, Jerry?
Yeah,
Can I
see people moving here.
Yeah, that's fine. There's enough room here for a few people. It's 10 by 10. So Calafiore takes over on the mound for North Mason.
And who is up? You got?
I think it's going to be Crossan.
Yeah, 34.
Daniel Crossan is the first batter that Calafiore will face here as the rain gets heavier and heavier. This might even be hail, Jerry. It's hail. Little tiny bits of hail. Usually they clear to bring them in. Ooh. Oh.
So Daniel Crossan is up, and he struck out in the first inning, and he was hit by the pitcher.
By pitch, not by the pitcher.
Pitch.
By the pitch.
Oh, by the pitch. Yeah, we don't want any
roughhousing here. The runners at first and second. Pitch on the way to Crossan is high and outside. Ball.
You don't want any violence?
No.
No violence.
No,
okay.
No. This is supposed to be a gentleman's sport, right?
That's exactly right.
So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 6 in for the Highclimbers. Pitch on the way. That one's a strike. Found the strike zone that time. Did Calafiore. Paulie.
So Daniel is 0 for 1.
So 1-1 is the count. There you go. Pitch on the way. Fastball a little bit high for ball 2. 2-1 the count.
And we do have 2 runners on base.
Yeah, Winans is at first. Jacoby at second for the Highclimbers. Again, 6 runs have come in, and they're 2 out. Oh, boy, did the hail just stop and, turned off the faucet. Timeout called. So that pitch does not count. So, again, runners at first and second for Shelton. 2 down. 6 in. 8-6 ball game, bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch on the way. That's high. It'll be ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Daniel Crossan. Here is the 3-1, and that will load the bases for the Highclimbers.
And that's 2 walks in a row, and the bases, of course, are loaded.
So here's Boston Madison coming to bat with the bases loaded.
And
2 out.
Boston Madison had a double back in this 4th inning, and he had a couple RBIs.
First pitch outside, just too much outside there for ball one.
Boston is 1 for 2.
So again, you get runners at first, second, and third. Pitch on the way. Fly ball. Center field. Atencio out there, reaches up, grabs it, and that'll end the inning, but the damage was done. The Highclimbers get 6. They leave 3, and they pull within 2. 8-6, North Mason with the lead. They're coming up to bat next on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Kids learn by watching adults, so consume cannabis out of sight of young people. And be a Mason County kid's greatest influence. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and the Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This presentation on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being brought to you by Mason County Public Utility District Number 1, Washington State's first public utility district, proudly serving the Hood Canal in Mason County since 1935.
What is gig speed internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you that it's marathoning movies on your favorite streaming service with no interruptions, or having the grandkids over and not hearing a single complaint about your Wi-Fi. In other words, it's just what you needed. Switch to gig speed internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
So we head to the 5th inning of play. North Mason coming up. They lead 8-6. The Highclimbers, however, had a big bottom of the 4th, Jerry.
They sure did. They had 6 runs on 6 hits. There was 1 walk, and there was 3 people left on base. So they could have really, gone ahead,
right,
if they could have gotten another hit in that inning.
Just when you think that the Bulldogs were running away from this, the Highclimbers come storming back.
Yeah. And Boston Stanley was very effective the first 3 innings, and then all of a sudden they just,
well, first game.
It takes a while to get that arm strong, and maybe he, like you said, he had thrown a lot of pitches.
Yeah, there was 60-some.
Yeah.
Last check. Calvin Rice will lead things off for the Bulldogs here.
Leading off will be Calvin Rice, the catcher, number 30. And he is a 1 for 2, had a double in the 3rd inning.
First pitch to Rice is a ball. On the mound still is Cam Winans. Next pitch on the way. Just a bit high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, leadoff batter in Rice. Next pitch on the way. Outside, ball 3. So 3 balls, no strikes. Fly ball, that's going to go out of play for strike 1. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Rice. And that's going to be a strike, as Rice thought it was going to be a ball. So the count is full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes to Rice. Pitch on the way. That's going to be the leadoff walk he was looking for. 1 pitch ago. So 1 on and nobody out for the Bulldogs.
And now up is number 7, your cleanup hitter, Danner Jones, playing right field. He has a walk in the 2nd and was hit by a pitch in the next inning.
So we have a courtesy runner out there for the catcher in Rice, and that is going to be Chris Arbogast.
Finally said it right. Hit by a pitch.
Hit by a pitch.
Okay.
There's a pitch that's going to be low in ball 1. Oh, Jerry's just not in the swing of things yet. It's only our 2nd game, so
I know.
Maybe by tomorrow he'll get it right?
I'll be ready. I'll be done. I'll be okay by the end of the season.
by the end of the season. I'm saying I'm putting pressure on you. Here's the next pitch. Throw to first. And Arbogast gets back.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow. Well, I hope tomorrow. Tomorrow, by the way, folks, we'll have this same matchup, but on the girls' side, some fast pitch softball between Shelton and North Mason up in Belfair. Here's the next pitch on the way. That's high. And that's ball 3. So again, nobody out, 1 on. Arbogast over at first base for the Bulldogs. And the batter is Danner Jones. He has 3 balls. Pitch on the way. There's a strike. Seems like Winans gets behind and then finds a location.
Yeah, he was taken there too.
So 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the way. Little ground ball. It's going to be up, fouled off the third base line. Third base coach is working over there, man. Trying to field those things. So the count is full again. This time on Danner Jones. Arbogast on first. He'll take a lead. Nobody out. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be popped out of play behind us. That one went into the tennis courts, Jerry. So the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Not that anybody watching really knows that there's tennis courts behind us.
He's still out there playing?
Nope, they're not. They're done. Pitch on the way, a swing and a miss, and a throw over to first. And Arbogast is safe, but Jones goes down swinging. So 1 away for the Bulldogs here.
And now up is your shortstop, number 23, Reed Schumacher. And Reed is 1 for 2, has scored a run, and got a single back in the 3rd.
So 1 on and 1 out for North Mason here in their half of the 5th inning. They're leading by 2 runs, 8-6. They've led by as many as 8 runs.
Yeah.
Highclimbers came back in the last half inning. Bulldogs trying to extend it here with 1 on and 1 out. Pitch on the way. Shoemaker, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Arbogast attempting fate over there. He dives back safely, but no throw to first. Take another lead. Winans going to go to the plate this time. There's a pop fly out of play. Well, actually, it's not out of play. It was just right inside the fence. And that's strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Of course, Arbogast at first base. It's a courtesy runner. They'll take a lead. Pitch on the way. Throw to first again. And Arbogast back safely.
Good arm again by Jax Ward. Nice try.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Shoemaker. Here's a kick from Winans, and that one's off the glove of Ward. Arbogast going to head to second base. Throw to second off target. This is now in scoring position.
Yeah, wild pitch there.
So the count is 2-2. Again, 1 out, 1 on. The runner is at second base now. That's Chris Arbogast. The batter is Reed Shoemaker. Takes a ball 3. I don't know, Jerry. It seems like every batter here in this inning has gone with a full count.
Making the pitcher work.
Next pitch on the way.
Just a little high.
Just a little high, and that'll put runner at first and second now.
And that's the second walk given up by Cam Winans.
Here's Perdot, Dylan Perdot.
Yeah, and he made a beautiful catch last inning to save a couple runs for North Mason. He is 1 for 2.
Swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1.
Had a single and a walk. No, single, and he grounded out to the first baseman.
Arbogast is second. Shoemaker at first. Pitch on the way. Bunt right up the front of the plate, and then it rolls foul off for third base line. 0-2 the count to Perdot. Oh, boy, Dylan is fast, Jerry. He was all the way to first base. I didn't realize he was that fast on the base pads.
Well, he's played center field, and he covered a lot of ground on that one out with the bases loaded for the Highclimbers.
So no balls, 2 strikes. 1 out and 2 on for North Mason here in the 5th inning. Leading 8-6. Here's the pitch. It's going to be high for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Winans. That's over the head of Ward, so the runners are going to advance. So 2 runners now in scoring position for the Bulldogs. And the count is 2-2.
And like I said, Purdue had a single in the last inning, or the 3rd inning.
Here's the kick in the throw. Again a bit high, and the count goes full again.
Anybody warming up out there?
Doesn't look
Diedrich?
like it. Nope, doesn't look like it. Can't see anybody. So Winans is on in relief. Here's a pitch on the way. That's going to be ball 4, and that will load the bases for North Mason.
And now up is, let's see.
You got to make sure that the numbers are right?
Number 3, yeah. Skylar McLean
Yeah.
is up, and he's a second baseman, and he has struck out twice. He's 0 for 2.
Fouls first pitch off. So, first strike. Again, 1 out, 3 on for North Mason here in the top of the 5th inning, leading 8-6. We are coming to you from Highclimber Field on the Shelton High School campus. Pitch on the way. Oh, that was a really. Oh, that's going to bring in a run, Jerry. I'm going to call that a balk as well.
Yep.
So that makes it 9-6.
So Calvin Rice came in on that one. And he was the leadoff hitter this inning for the.
Actually, it was Arbogast. He was in for Rice.
Okay, thank you.
Just going to give
the
credit
right
where
person the credit, right?
credit is due. So 2 on, 1 out. And a fly ball, that's going to go out of play for strike 2.
Well, it's nice you get to play everybody also.
Where as many as you can.
Yes, as many as you can.
Especially the first outing of the season for the Bulldogs. Here's a pitch from Winans. That was a good-looking pitch.
It was a nice pitch.
And that's out number 2.
Second strikeout this inning by Cam Winans. And now up is number 25, the first baseman, Kingston Serabakov. He has scored twice and had a double in the last inning.
Took ball 1. So you got runners at second and third for North Mason. 1 in, 2 out. Here's the pitch on the way. Throw to third, and diving back safely is going to be Shoemaker.
Again, Jax Ward demonstrates his good arm.
So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Pitch on the way. That's going to be low for ball 3. 1 run is in for North Mason here, making it 9-6. Here's the 3-0. And that will get over the head of Ward. Going to come in and sliding in to score is going to be Shoemaker, and that makes it 10-6. Also on the play, let's see, we got Purdue over at third base. So runners at the corners now for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Purdue is fast. He demonstrated that there.
Told you. Deceptively fast. So a little meeting at the mound with Winans struggling here. 2 runs are in, 2 are out, and runners are at first and third. And it's 10-6.
And now up is number 17?
7.
7.
Yeah, it's Danner Jones. Yeah, you see, you're getting thrown off, too, by the jerseys and the folds. No, actually, it's number 1. Pardon me.
That's okay.
Paul Califorri. He's the pitcher in relief. His first at-bat for North Mason. So runners at the corners for the Bulldogs. 2 out, 2 in. Winan still on the mound for the Climbers, trying to get out of this inning. Here's pitch. Outside ball, or I'm sorry, that's going to be ball 1.
Runners at the corners. Yep.
Pitch on the way. Inside, and it's going to be ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. Still no activity in the bullpen for the Highclimbers. Hoping they can get to Winans out of this inning. 2 runners are in. Pitch on the way. That's going to be another ball. Ball 3. So you got Prideaux at third, Zabrakov at first, and the batter is Paulie Califorri. Here's the pitch. There's going to be a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Paulie. Here's the next pitch. Ground ball right back to Winans. He'll glove it. Throw to first. It's high, and that'll score 1 more run as Prideaux comes in on the play. Zabrakov ends up at third. So it makes it 11-6.
And now up is number 24, Caden Atencio. Caden is the center fielder. Thank you. He is 0 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch.
So we do have a courtesy runner for the pitcher in California, and the courtesy runner, I can't see his number, Jerry. It's too much in the shadows. I can't quite see who's the runner over there. But runners remain at the corners, 2 outs, 3 in. And Atencio is the batter for North Mason, and I might get an idea who the runner is if you'll just turn enough so to see the number. Oh, it's Arbogast again. Okay. No, it's not going to be Arbogast. It's going to be number 16, and that is
Beal.
Jansen Beal.
And I believe he played a little bit of basketball along with his sister.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jansen was what, the 7th or 8th man off the bench for the Bulldogs. Oh, we have a new pitcher. I didn't even see that. As who do we have here? Number 12 is going to be pitching. So Brody DePoe is coming on to pitch in relief for Winans. We will take a quick timeout while he gets his warm-ups in. We'll be right back. It is 11-6. North Mason on top.
Mason County is a very special place. When you're looking for sound real estate advice, pick the team that has called Mason County home for 5 generations. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate is always thrilled to help you buy or sell real estate in our area. Whether it is Hood Canal, Harstein Island, Matlock, Tahuya, South Puget Sound, or Shelton, the Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has the experience you can trust. Remember, when it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
Now we're back here, Jerry. Hold on a second.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And we are now back as we have DePoe on the mound for the Highclimbers here. 2 outs, 3 in, runners at the corners.
And Caden has gone on base once and scored once.
It's Caden Atencio. First pitch from DePoe. A little bit high.
And
ball 1.
Caden Atencio is the 8th hitter for North Mason in this top of the 5th.
Throw over to first. Did he get him? He did not. Very, very close.
Yeah.
As
Good try.
Beal dove in just underneath that tag by Jacoby. So DePoe back to the plate with a pitch, fastball, strike one. So 1-1 is the count. 11-6 is our score. North Mason with the lead, and they have 2 outs here in their half of the fifth. Top of the fifth. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled straight back for strike 2. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Atencio. Should Atencio reach? Boston Stanley's on deck. Runners at the corners for North Mason here. 3 runs are in, 2 are out. Here's the next pitch. It's going to be high for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, excuse me. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 3 in. 11-6 our score. North Mason on top in at bat. Caden Atencio waiting for the next pitch. Pops that one out of play, it looks like. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. We had a little bit of hail, but it's been pretty nice other than that. A little cold, though. Here's the next pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and that will do it for the inning, but the Bulldogs do add 3 more to their lead, and they lead 11-6. We head to the bottom of the frame on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Neighbors help each other. It's how community works. And it's how we do business at Hood Canal Communications. We know you count on us for value-priced internet, TV, and phone service, backed by friendly local support. Your hard-earned dollars stay right here as we invest in our community, our people, and smart technology. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected while being a good neighbor.
Mason County is a very special place. When you're looking for sound real estate advice, pick the team that has called Mason County home for 5 generations. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate is always thrilled to help you buy or sell real estate in our area. Whether it is Hood Canal, Harstein Island, Matlock, Tahuya, South Puget Sound, or Shelton, the Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has the experience you can trust. Remember, when it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
Well, bottom of the 5th inning here. North Mason 11, Shelton 6, and the Highclimbers are coming to bat. Jerry?
Yeah, North Mason at the top of the 5th inning had 3 runs, and they had no hits. That's interesting. There was 3 walks, and there was 1 runner left on base. So the damage was done by those 3 walks.
And first batter coming in here is going to be number 20.
Yeah, Michael Carlson. And Michael is 0 for 2 in the ball game, and he's playing center field for the Highclimbers.
First pitch was a ball. Second pitch also outside. And, they're going to say it's a check swing, and they get him to go. So it's 1-1 on the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Sorry, Jerry, your headphones keep falling off. I don't know what to do about that. He's got a different set of headphones. But it seems to be the thing. There's a swing and a miss, and out. Number 1 for Shelton and Carlson. Here's Brody DePoe, first time.
And he'll be batting for Zane Scott.
DePoe is in second reliever for the Highclimbers here. Came in late in the last half inning. Bottom of the 5th, 11-6 is our score. North Mason with the lead, Shelton at bat. There's a check swing, and say, did he go? I guess it's going to be a ball. And he did not go on that one, so that's going to be ball 1. More chatter coming in. There's another pitch that's going to be high and outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes to
And
DePoe.
this is DePoe's first time up.
Yep. Next pitch, fastball right down the middle of the plate for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out. Nobody on for the Highclimbers here in the bottom of the 5th inning, trailing by 5 runs to North Mason. Here's next pitch on the way, another fastball. Just a bit high for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. From my angle, it looked really good, but I'm not right on the plate, right, Jerry?
Yeah. I try not to second guess.
Oh, I never second guess, but just there's a swing and a miss, and DePoe gets strike 2.
But I've been guilty of it.
Well, you know, I'm just saying from my angle, it looks
Yeah,
like a
at
good
your
pitch,
angle,
but
yeah, it looks different. Yeah.
I'm not right there. That home plate umpire is right there. Here's a pitch on the way, another. That's a bit high. So DePoe heads to first base. Give the Climbers a needed base runner.
Now batting, second baseman, number 19, Zane Harding.
Zane Harding, number 19, the second baseman, is 1 for 2. Had a single in the 4th inning, and he scored a run. So he's 1 for 2.
Waiting for the first pitch. It's on the way. Fastball a little bit inside and high for ball 1. This helps to push the right button, Jerry.
Yeah, and I see Boston Stanley, of course, playing third base now.
Was he? I didn't notice that. So Stanley's over at third. That's good eye. There's a line drive right to Shoemaker at shortstop. Throw to second for 1 out there. Throw to first. A little bit late. Did he get him? No, he did not. So 1 away as they got DePoe at second. So actually, this is out number 2, pardon me.
Yep.
So 2 down and 1 on, and here is Carl Turnbow.
Yeah, Carl Turnbow is 1 for 3, had 2 RBIs in the 4th inning, so he's 1 for 3.
First pitch
with a
was
double.
A bit high for ball 1. That's already there. Okay.
And Turnbow is the shortstop. It does a nice job out there.
So 1 on, 2 out for Shelton here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runner goes, pitch on the way for a strike. Throw to second base, and they tagged him out. Nice play out there by McLean, and that'll end the inning. So the Climbers head to the 6th, trailing 11-6. This is Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back. Wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD3 at 360-426-8255.
Hi folks, Diedrich Allen with Mason Web TV powered by HCC, your source for live high school sports with play-by-play. Once again, Mason Web TV is broadcasting select games every week this school year. Football, basketball, baseball, softball. We bring you all the action, from the kickoff to the final whistle, from the tip-off to the final buzzer, from the first pitch to the last out. Watch how it happens on Mason Web TV powered by HCC. Business owners, you can get in on the action as well. Go online, email, call, or text right now to find out how.
Well, we head to the 6th inning of play. North Mason 11, Shelton 6. Bulldogs coming up.
Leading off will be Boston Stanley, who is now playing third base. He is 1 for 3, had a double in the 3rd, had a couple RBIs. And he pitched the first 3 and 2/3 innings. Was effective, very effective in the first 3.
Sorry, Jared, just checking on something here. Brody DePoe still on the mound for the Highclimbers. Stanley will step in to face him for the first time today. Bulldogs up 11-6 here as we start the 6th inning of play. Here's the first pitch to Stanley. That's a strike down the middle of the plate. Jerry can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
Sun's starting to go down. It's getting a little chilly again, Jerry. Might have to put on my last layer. Here's the pitch on the way. It's going to be outside and low. Ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch on the way. That one got away from Ward. That'll be ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch on the way. That's going to be high for ball 3, and 3 balls, 1 strike to Stanley. Here's the next pitch on the way from DePoe. Just a bit low and outside, and that'll put Stanley on first base. And this should be Rice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
You can't see him because the umpire's in the way.
Number 30, Calvin Rice, the catcher, is up, and he scored twice.
Here's first pitch.
And he's
Rice.
0 for 2.
Oh, that hit the outside corner for strike 1.
0 for 2 with a walk.
Stanley takes the lead over there at first base. DePoe looks at him. He's going to come with the pitch to the plate. There's a fly ball. It's going to go out of play over the clubhouse. 0-2.
Calvin has, and I don't know if I said this, has scored twice already.
So Rice will step back in, waiting for the 0-2 pitch from DePoe. Again, Boston Stanley over there at first base. Rice stands back in that batter's box, doesn't he, John?
He sure
Jerry?
does. And close to the...
Right to the line. Here's the next pitch. It's a little outside. Ball 1, 1 ball. And 2 strikes to Rice. Nobody out here, 1 on for North Mason. Boston Stanley over there at first base takes a lead. Pitch on the way outside. It's ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. DePoe takes a walk around the mound. Again, Stanley takes a little bit of a lead. Inches away a little bit further. Here's the pitch on the way. That's in the dirt. And it's ball number 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Rice. Second batter here in the 6th inning. Again, Stanley takes another lead. He's trying to get a throw over there for some reason. He's dancing around. Here's a pitch on the way. There's a swing and a foul down to the ground and to the back. So the count remains full.
Do a little intimidating there, huh?
Trying to. And we're still waiting for the next pitch here. The count is full to Rice. 1 on and nobody out. Here's a swing and a ground ball over to third base, picked up there. And they're going to, what are they going to say on that one? That was a, oh, they're calling out?
Did it hit the,
oh, I don't know. I heard a good.
it must have hit
him
before
okay.
it went, I'm guessing it. That could be the only
thing that would let Stanley head to the second base, however.
What the?
I don't know. Stanley's over on second base.
That does not make sense.
Count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. DePoe looks back at second base, and Stanley, here's the pitch on the way. There's a fly ball out of play. Heads up, everybody.
How do you get to second on a...
Are they calling it a ball? I don't know. That's a good question, Jerry. I'd have to ask.
If the ball, okay, if the ball came before he got, yeah.
Right, but he threw the ball and he hit. I don't know. I don't really know. Either way, Stanley's at second base. There's a little fly ball into shallow left field. Madison comes in to glove it, and that'll be out number 1. So 1 away for North Mason here in the 6th.
And now up is number 7, the right fielder, Danner Jones. And Danner Jones is 0 for 1. He's got on base twice, hit by a pitch, and he had a walk and scored twice.
There's a pitch, and he swings it. He pops another one out, off and going out into right field. And that will be Harding gloving that one for out number 2. Still Boston Stanley out there at second base, and there's now 2 away for North Mason.
And now up is number 23, the shortstop, Reed Schumacher, who has scored twice, is 1 for 2, has a single, and has a walk.
A little conversation on the mound between Ward and DePoe. Both gentlemen kind of walk away with grins on their faces. Is that just a little bit of a, you're all right, I got a joke for you kind of thing? So 2 out and 1 on. Here's the pitch to Shoemaker. Takes strike 1. Reed's going to step back in. Wait for the 0-1 from DePoe. Again, Boston Stanley at second base has a lead. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And that's strike 2. Here's the next pitch on the way. That's going to be ball number 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 on. Top of the 6th inning, 11-6 is our score. North Mason with the lead, and the Bulldogs are at bat. Highclimbers Brody DePoe on the mound. He's thrown 23 pitches so far, Jerry. Looks back at second base, throws to the plate, swinging a fly ball headed to left field. Up against the fence. And here comes Stanley in to score, and a 2-out single, an RBI double for Schumacher. Then adds 1 on, makes it to 12-6. So 1 in now.
Yeah, Boston Stanley scored on that. Yep.
2 out.
And now up is Dylan Prideaux, the left fielder, and he is 1 for 2, has a single, has a walk, has scored once.
Schumacher at second base. The first pitch to Prideaux is a strike at the knees.
And Prideaux has done a nice job out there on the base running and playing center field.
Here's the next pitch on the way. It's going to be outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 1 on, 1 in for North Mason here in the top of the 6th inning. Now lead 12-6. Brody DePoe digs in at that mound. Schumacher back there at second base takes his lead. Pitch on the way, swing, and that one's going to be fouled over heads, out of play. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Prideaux. Here's the next pitch on the way. That's going to be high for ball 2, 2-2.
Reed Schumacher is on second base for the Bulldogs.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to number 2. Swing and a miss. And that will end the inning, but the Bulldogs add 1 more on. They lead 12-6. Head to the bottom of the 6th. It's Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
What is gig speed internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you that it's marathoning movies on your favorite streaming service with no interruptions, or having the grandkids over and not hearing a single complaint about your Wi-Fi. In other words, it's just what you needed. Switch to gig speed internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
Kids can't tell when food or drinks include cannabis, especially when the package is fun and colorful. Remember to store in a safe place, out of sight and out of reach. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This broadcast on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being made possible by Mason Health, United Community, Empowered People, Exceptional Health.
Head to the bottom of the 6th inning of play. North Mason 12, Shelton 6. The Highclimbers coming up to bat.
North Mason had 1 run on 1 hit, 1 walk, and that was a summary for the top of the 6 for North Mason.
So Carl Turnbow will lead things off for the Highclimbers here in their half of the 6th.
Yeah, and he's 1 for 3. Had a 2 RBIs back in the 4th.
Calafiore still on the mound for the Bulldogs in relief of Stanley, who's over at third base now. Here's the pitch on the way. There's strike 1 called. Jax Ward on deck for Shelton. Turnbow will step out of the box, calls time. Carl will step back in and wait for the next pitch, the 0-1 from Polly. Outside, ball 1, 1-1. Next pitch on the way, that's high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Turnbow. Leading things off for Shelton here in their half of the 6th inning there. You've got some work to do. Here's the next pitch outside. Count goes full, or I'm sorry, the count is 3 balls, and I'm sorry, 3 balls and 1 strike. Excuse me, Jerry, I'm just ahead of myself. Your next pitch on the way. And it's a strike 2 call. See, I told you I was ahead of myself.
He hit that corner very nicely.
Yeah, Turnbow thought it was going to be ball 4, but umpire said, no, son, you have another pitch to wait for. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a called strike 3, and that's out number 1 for Shelton here in the bottom of the 6th.
And now up is number 2, the catcher, Jax Ward. Jax is 2 for 2. Has a double, has a single, has scored a run, and got a walk in the 1st inning.
Okay. So 1 out, nobody on for Shelton. Here's the pitch to Ward. That's on the inside corner that time for strike 1. Fury pits another one that's a little high. It's going to be fouled off for strike 2. So 2 balls, or no balls, 2 strikes. I'm way off today, Jerry. I'm seeing 2s. That's the problem with this scoreboard. The at-bat is right next to the ball. And sometimes I get a little bit confused, but that is going to be ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on for Shelton here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jax Ward, the batter. It's going to be another ball. It's ball 2. It's 2-2 to count. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on for Shelton here in the top of the 6th inning, trailing North Mason 12-6. Here's the pitch to Ward. It's going to be a little bit high. That brings the count full. don't think I've seen so many full counts in a game in a long time.
We've seen
Jerry.
a lot.
We've seen,
yeah. And I'm sure the number of pitches will be pretty high for this game.
There's a strike 3 call, and that's out number 2 for Shelton.
And that's the second strikeout this inning for the pitcher for North Mason.
Calafiore.
Yeah, I was going to let you pronounce that.
If I'm saying it right, I hope I'm saying that right, but that's what I
think you are.
That's right.
Number 7, Jacob Jacoby, the first baseman, is up. And Jacob is 1 for 3, but did have a double in the 4th inning.
First pitch was a strike. Second pitch also called a strike, so 0-2.
And Jacob has also scored a run.
Jacoby behind in the count already. Here's the 0-2 from Pauly. Swing and a miss. Actually, it's going to be a drop third strike. So throw to first base for that out. And that'll end the inning. So, Jerry, 1, 2, 3 go the Highclimbers here in the 6th. We head to the 7th.
Struck out the side.
Yep. They head to the 7th. 12-6. North Mason with the lead.
Mason County is a very special place. When you're looking for sound real estate advice, pick the team that has called Mason County home for 5 generations. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate is always thrilled to help you buy or sell real estate in our area. Whether it is Hood Canal, Harstein Island, Matlock, Tahuya, South Puget Sound, or Shelton, the Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has the experience you can trust. Remember, when it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
What is fiber internet? We could bore you with the technical details, or we could tell you it's just internet. Internet that can do whatever you need. Crystal clear video chats with the family, smooth streaming of your favorite shows, uploading a ton of vacation photos in an instant. Even all of the above, all at once. Switch to fiber internet from Hood Canal Communications today and get $25 off your first 4 months of gig speed service. Visit hcc.net or call 360-898-2481.
We head to the 7th inning of play. North Mason 12, Shelton 6. Bulldogs coming up to bat here. See if they can add on a couple of runs in their final 3 at-bats here, or at least 3 at-bats. See if the Highclimbers can hold them to only 3 at-bats.
Yeah, and this is the 3rd inning for Brody DePaul. He's pitched 1 in the 3rd inning so far. So this will be his.
Yeah, he's pitched his 29 pitches, according to Game Changer.
Okay.
Just if that matters to anybody out there. So he's been pretty efficient.
He has. He has been pretty efficient.
So is this McLean coming up, Jerry?
Okay, now up is, Skylar McLean is up, the second baseman, number 3. He is 0 for 3 in the game. 0 for 3.
So he'll lead things off for the Bulldogs here. They're up 6 runs. 12-6 is the score. Pitch on the way, swing, and a chopper up the first base line right into the hands of Jacoby, and that's 1 pitch, 1 out.
And now up is Kingston Serabakov, the first baseman, number 25. He has scored twice. He has a double and a walk, and he is 1 for 3.
He chopped the first pitch, foul up the third base line, and it's 0-1. 1 out, nobody on for the Bulldogs. Really starting to get dark here, Jerry.
Yeah.
But we should be able to get this in before it gets too dark.
Oh, yeah.
Next pitch is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sabraikov.
That's right. There's
no lights in the ball field. It's one of the things they're trying to work on here.
Okay.
Next pitch on the way. That's going to be ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Sabraikov.
But as the season goes by, it should be no problem.
Well, if the clouds weren't on, it would be a lot brighter.
Yeah.
Clouds are kind of to our backs for a little bit here. Here's a pitch on the way. That's going to be ball 3 to Zabryakov. Might have to bring my lights in, Jerry, so we can see. And I have to do something about the camera because it's pretty dark on the camera as well. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. 3 balls, 1 strike to Kingston Zabryakov. 1 out, nobody on, pitch on the way. That's going to be a strike on a little sinker. So the count goes full. Again, another full count.
Yeah, Brody DePro has looked pretty good in relief tonight.
He's got 35 pitches. Here's number 36. And that's going to be strike 3 called. And Kingston heads to the dugout with 2 out.
That's his second strikeout of the game. And let's see who we got now. Number 1.
And Paulie
and
Calafiore. Here's first pitch. That's going to be ball. Sorry, what was his first at bat, Jerry?
His first bat, first time up, he got on by way of an error.
So he takes ball number 1. 2 out here in the top of the 7th. North Mason up 12-6 here. Here's the kick and the throw. Swing and a miss by Calafiore for strike 1. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike now. Caden Atencio on deck should Paulie reach. Here's the next pitch. It's going to be a little bit low for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the next pitch on the way. That's going to be strike to even the count at 2 and 2. Wind's been pretty consistent, Jerry. Look at the flag out there at center field. It's been blowing. There's a foul off. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's been steady, I should say. It's whipping around a little earlier, but now it's pretty consistent up there at that level. What is that, about 50 feet, 25 feet, something like that?
Well, it's easy 50 feet, I would say.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's going to be ball number 3. So 3 balls, 2 strikes.
50 or 60 feet, yeah.
There's a standard for flagpoles, isn't there? You think I would know that?
I would assume there would be.
You think I would know that? But I don't. So Paulie Calafiore back in with the full count. 2 out. Top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance for the Highclimbers. They're trailing 12-6 on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
An important safety reminder from Mason PUD3. Please never touch a downed power line. If a power line falls on your vehicle, stay inside and call 911. Tell others to stay back. Wait for emergency personnel. Never touch anyone or anything in contact with a downed power line. Always stay at least 100 feet away. Never use an object to move a downed wire. Don't remove trees or limbs near a downed line. Electricity travels through ground, trees, branches, and more. It's not safe. If you see a downed line, call PUD3 at 360-426-8255.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
And it's the bottom of the 7th inning. Shelton coming up their last 3 outs here. They're trailing 12-6. As Jerry's getting ahead on the whole totals there. As
trying.
Leading things off will be Cam Winans. Jerry, for the Highclimbers.
Yeah, and Cam is has 2 walks. And he was the designated hitter, and then he became the pitcher. And now he is...
I think he's playing third base.
Okay, thank you for the
clarification. At this point, unless they can get 6 runs, this is
Yeah.
6 runs in this inning. We won't see him on defense here.
The academic, yeah.
So he'll step in to face Califiore inside on that first pitch for ball 1.
But he's 0 for 1, and he has 2 walks.
On deck, Jerry, just so you know, is number 15, Drew Helser. And there's strike 1 to Winans. Trust me.
Oh, okay, got it. I got it. Yeah, right here.
Trust me,
Yeah, I got it. I just wanted to check the spelling.
Yeah, that was another ball. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Winans. Leading things off for the Highclimbers here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the next pitch on the way. It's going to be high for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Got batteries failing here, Jerry. But it's okay. We'll get through. Here's the next pitch on the way. That's going to hit Winans, so he'll head to first base. So there's a base runner that the Highclimbers need, at least one of them. And that'll bring up number 15, Drew Helser.
And this is his first time up.
He did play a little bit behind home plate yesterday.
Okay. Yeah,
but he did not.
Because Jax went out to pitch relief at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did not get a chance to bat because they called that game after 5 innings due to weather. So Helser will step in, throw over to first, and Winans gets back safely. Califiore has, 33 pitches thrown here in the ball game. Gets the sign, and here he comes. Takes strike 1, does Helser. One on, nobody out for Shelton here. Needs some base runners here. Throw over to first again, and Winans dives back safely. Winans got a very tall body, so he just basically falls over quickly to get back to the bag. So the count is no balls and 1 strike to Helser. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball. It's going to be gloved there by Stanley. Throw to second for, well, no, he didn't get the out, as I believe that was McLean bobbling that one. So the Highclimbers have runners at first and second now. Just what they want to do is get some base runners out there. Here's Boston Madison coming up with Winans at second and Helser at first. First pitch inside for ball 1. Nobody out, 2 on. Here's a pitch that hit the outside corner for strike 1.
You know, Boston Madison has 2 hits. He has a single and he has a double. I know.
I don't know what it is with your head. Just things fall off.
Pretty good the first game. The second game, I don't know.
Pitch on the way. It's high inside. Ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike.
You thinking I need a head adjustment?
Well, that goes without saying, Jerry. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 on. Nobody out for the Highclimbers here. Bottom of the 7th inning. North Mason 12. Shelton has 6. Go ahead.
Some glue. Or tape.
Califiore looks back at second, goes to the plate with a strike. So the count goes even at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, 2 on for Shelton here. Here's a pitch, ground ball right back to Stanley. Stanley will step on the bag at third for 1 out. Throw across the first. Little high, but he did have his toe on the bag, and that doubles him up. Wow. That'll be 2 out, and a runner is at second base. So 2 down for Shelton here.
And Michael Carlson is 0 for 3. He's played center field tonight. or today.
Carlson takes first pitch. It's going to be strike right at the shoulders. So 0-1. So 2 down, 1 on. Helser at second base. Here's pitch on the way. Swinging, that one's fouled off.
The preceding presentation on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, has been brought to you by
Sorry, folks.
Hood Canal Communications, committed to providing quality services that exceed customer expectations in voice, video, data, and customer service. Keeping
Come on, a little technical difficulties, pardon me. As the next pitch was in there for ball number 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Interesting, I had some technical difficulties at the end of this ball game, Jerry. So 2 out, 1 on. And Carlson takes ball number 2, so 2 balls and 1 strike. So 1 on, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, that is gonna drop in, foul.
Oh.
Just foul off the first base line.
Yeah, that would have definitely scored a run.
So Helser has to drop back to second base. Carlson back to home plate and pick up his bat. And the count again is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 on. In a 12-6 ball game, bottom of the 7th. Climbers down to the last out. Pitch on the way, a swing and a miss, and that will be it as Carlson goes down swinging, and that'll be your final 12-6. We will take a quick timeout. We'll be back with some final totals here on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC. Back in a moment.
Neighbors help each other. It's how community works, and it's how we do business at Hood Canal Communications. We know you count on us for value-priced internet, TV, and phone service, backed by friendly local support. Your hard-earned dollars stay right here as we invest in our community, our people, and smart technology. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected while being a good neighbor.
Mason County is a very special place. When you're looking for sound real estate advice, pick the team that has called Mason County home for 5 generations. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate is always thrilled to help you buy or sell real estate in our area. Whether it is Hood Canal, Harstein Island, Matlock, Tahuya, South Puget Sound, or Shelton, the Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate has the experience you can trust. Remember, when it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge.
There's so many great things about life in Mason County, and Hood Canal Communications is proud to be one more. Headquartered in Union, we offer the speed and reliability your family needs, backed by hometown service and support. Whether you need to just check email or power all those Wi-Fi devices around your home, HCC has the right package for you. Stop by one of our friendly offices, call or visit hcc.net to learn more. Hood Canal Communications, keeping our community connected.
Kids learn by watching adults, so consume cannabis out of sight of young people. And be a Mason County kid's greatest influence. Brought to you by Mason County Public Health and the Mason County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition.
This presentation on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, is being brought to you by Mason County Public Utility District Number 1, Washington State's first public utility district, proudly serving the Hood Canal in Mason County since 1935.
Well, it's a final here at Highclimber Field. The North Mason Bulldogs knock off the Shelton Highclimbers 12-6 on the second game for the Highclimbers, first game for the Bulldogs. Jerry, go ahead with some totals.
I will. Thank you, Diedrich. Nice job today, as always. North Mason, of course, had 12 runs. They only had 5 hits, but there were several errors created by Shelton that produced those 12. runs, plus there was a home run with 2 men on.
Right.
And that was a backbreaker. For the Highclimbers, they had 6 runs on 8 hits. Now, the leading hitter for the Bulldogs was Reed Schumacher. He had 2 hits. Dylan Perdeau had a hit. Kingston Serbakov had a hit, and so did Boston Stanley. Boston Stanley had a double, and the home run.
It wasn't a home run, Jerry.
It was a double?
Yeah, it was a double and an error.
Okay,
if
thank
I
you.
remember right.
Yep, you're right. Okay, but that was a big one right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, 6 runs. Let's get back to the box score here.
And I got one other thing.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Carl Turnbull for the Highclimbers had a hit. Jax Ward had a hit, a double. Jacob Jacoby had a double. And Boston Madison had 2 hits. He had a double and a single. Zane Scott had a hit. And Zane Hardy also had a hit for a total of 8. So that's my
that's your
statistics.
Your statistics. We'll have that complete to wrap up for you tomorrow with all the details. Next up for the Highclimbers, they hit the road next week. They play at Elma on Tuesday, and then they head down to Vancouver next weekend for a little bit of tournament action down there. The Bulldogs jump right into Olympic League play next week with 2 games against Port Angeles, Tuesday on the road and Wednesday in Belfair, and Jerry and I will be up for that one on next Wednesday. Our next broadcast is tomorrow night with fast pitch softball version of the Mason County Cup as Shelton travels to North Mason. First pitch is 4:15, weather permitting. Now, I say that because the home team has the option to change the locations. And if it's pouring down rain or they're worried about it, they could move it down here to play at Shelton. I don't know if it's still home or away. I'm not really sure how that works. But it's up to the home team to make that call. But either way, Jerry and I will be
We'll see
on
how
hand.
the weather goes tomorrow,
Right.
and we'll try to let you know as soon as possible if
Well,
there is a change.
If there is a change, and hopefully we are in Belfair, and they say, hey, we're down in Shelton. And so we have to turn around and come back down here. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Hope we get enough time to me to call Jerry and say, Jerry, you got to come to Shelton instead of staying in Belfair.
And I'm scheduled to be in Belfair tomorrow anyway.
Right, so
okay.
So you're senior driver, right? Is that what you're having, senior driving class
Yes.
tomorrow? Yeah.
I have a meeting tomorrow, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, that will pretty much do it for us here at Highclimber Field. And my thanks to Jerry Apple for his help with today's broadcast. Final score again, North Mason 12, Shelton 6. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You have been watching high school sports on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.
Have a good night, everybody.
The preceding presentation on Mason Web TV, powered by HCC, has been brought to you by Hood Canal Communications, committed to providing quality services that exceed customer expectations in voice, video, data, and customer service, keeping our community connected since 1934. Mason County Public Health and Human Services Prevention Education Partners Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition. Mason PUD 3, connecting our community with safe, reliable, economical, and sustainable services 24/7. The Conklin team at Windermere Real Estate. When it comes to real estate, nothing compares to local knowledge. Mason County Public Utility District Number 1, Washington State's first public utility district, proudly serving the Hood Canal in Mason County since 1935. And Mason Health, united community, empowered people, exceptional health.
Thanks for watching Mason Web TV, powered by HCC.